Good afternoon. I'm AlEspinor, graduate realtor, GRI, with Century 21 M&M Associates, and also a certified distressed property expert. I'm here today to give a recap and an update since my last video back in January. A lot has happened with the market and with the current situation of the distressed properties that we're seeing all around San Joaquin County and particularly in Stockton. Just to kind of go over what we're going to discuss today's segment. We're going to talk about the mortgage services settlement, the $25 billion settlement with the State Attorney General's Office of California, and how that affects you, the homeowner and borrower. We're also going to talk about some pretty interesting statistics from realtytrack.com as far as what the numbers look like as far as the pre-foreclosures and borrowers that are in trouble here in the Valley and in Stockton particularly. Just to kind of recap our last broadcast, we talked about mortgage debt relief forgiveness. Yes, this is the act that was in place as of 2007 by then President Bush. And basically what that stated was that if you were a borrower and you occupied your property 1 to 4 units and you had to do a short sale, you're basically in that situation. The difference between what you owe and what the property sold for was reported on a 1099-C to the Internal Revenue Service in the state of California. So basically, you would be responsible prior to the law for the difference in taxes. Right now, as it stands, if you do a short sale in 2012, and this ends on December 31st of 2012, you would not be responsible for those taxes from what the difference between what the property sells and what is owed on the loan. So this is very important to homeowners that are on the fence or considering doing a short sale. There's not much time. We're already in June, so we're almost halfway past the year. Now, there are talks in Washington that they might possibly extend this, but so far as I know, this is still in committee and there has been no final decision made. So, again, if you don't want to take the risk of missing out on this opportunity, this is another reason to consider a short sale. The other thing, too, in homeowners' favors are the State Bill 931, which was passed in 2010. So basically, if your home is your primary residence and you've occupied it and you do a short sale, regardless if you refinance or took cash out, you would not be held responsible after a short sale for what they would call a deficiency judgment lien. So again, this is protection that has been passed in the state of California. And then last year in 2011, in addition to that, they passed State Bill 458, which basically indicates that if you had a junior lien, equity line or second, and if you basically had refinanced or taken cash out, and again, you're doing a short sale, you would not be held responsible for that second after the short sale has taken place. So again, you have protection as a homeowner in both aspects of a short sale. So the responsibility for any extra money owed from the junior liens or the first, and of course, again, the mortgage debt relief forgiveness on your taxes. So these are two reasons to consider a short sale if you're looking at doing one now immediately. Now, the other thing too is that the HAFA program, Homes Affordable Foreclosure Alternative, is in full swing. About a year or two ago when it was introduced, it was slow to get done by lenders, and there were not a lot of homeowners that were receiving this program. But now pretty much most of the lenders are doing the HAFA, and at the end of the short sale, the successful short sale, the homeowner receives $3,000 in relocation money at the close of escrow. So this is a very important program, important assistance to homeowners. The other thing that we talked about in the last edition is, do you understand the terms and conditions of your loan modification agreement? Now, this is a big issue that's come up with a lot of homeowners, and I've had the opportunity to sit down and speak with homeowners and borrowers regarding their terms and conditions. One of the things that you want to make sure is that there are no hidden balloon payment clauses in your modification. I had one homeowner not too long ago that had a condition that within about 10 years from now, they would be responsible to pay the whole balance in full on a loan modification. So you want to make sure that you know where you stand, and that's why it's a good idea to sit down with a realtor such as myself to go over the contract and to kind of give you a little bit more of a better understanding so you know where you stand. Um, and again, one of the things that I want to point out before I go on with the show, and this is just a disclaimer, I am not an attorney or a tax accountant, so I cannot specifically advise you on legal or tax advice. I always advise a homeowner, borrower to seek competent advice from an attorney or tax accountant when it's in regards to specific matters. Now, going on to today's new items of topics, mortgage services settlement. As of February 9, 2012, the United States Department of Justice announced a settlement with 5 major banks accused of robo-signing and other fraudulent foreclosure practices. Here are the major details of the settlement. The settlement was $25 billion, and the banks that are participating are Bank of America, Ally Bank, Chase, Citi, and Wells Fargo. Now, out of that 25 billion, 5 billion consisting of 2,000 payments will go to borrowers who are foreclosed on between January 1st, 2008 and December 31st, 2011, and who were subjected to fraudulent practices. The remaining 20 billion will be used towards foreclosure alternatives. So 10 billion, for example, will go to borrowers who are delinquent on their mortgage, and 7 billion towards assisting homeowners through short sales, forbearance, relocation assistance, or other alternatives. And then 3 billion will be spent helping borrowers who owe more than the value of their home to refinance but are still current on their mortgage. So again, this is huge. This is something that has just come about. And right now, as we speak in the month of June, the banks are just barely starting to get on board, and we're starting to see some of the results from this program. For example, Bank of America has sent out 200,000 letters to homeowners that are current, not behind, to offer them the opportunity to do a principal reduction. Also, Bank of America is offering relocation incentives. This is aside from the half a government program. This is a Bank of America internal program. If a borrower is in trouble and is unemployed or cannot qualify for a loan modification, Bank of America right now at this moment is offering a relocation incentive of between $2,500 up to $20,000 for a borrower to do a short sale versus walking away. So in theory, let's just say that you're eligible. You can get the $2,500 from Bank of America's own internal program, and then if you're eligible for HAFA, you can get that other $3,000. So theoretically, a homeowner that's in trouble can basically walk away with about $5,500 if you're dealing with Bank of America. Now, there are other programs similar to this that are being done. For example, JP Morgan Chase has been sending out, has been qualifying homeowners for short sale relocation incentives that they're doing separately from HAFA. And I've seen these vary anywhere from as little as $3,000 up to the highest I saw was $30,000 that I've personally done for a homeowner. So again, there is help coming out. Why are the banks all of a sudden doing this? Well, the answer is simple. It makes more sense to the banks and the investors to do a short sale than rather risking foreclosing on a property, because the negative effect of a foreclosure is that the properties can get vandalized, they can get stripped. It basically costs them a great deal of money to go through the legal process and of course repairs and everything else, and it has a negative impact on by the time that they actually sell the property. So the banks are finally realizing, banks and investors alike are realizing that it makes more sense to do a short sale, to have the cooperation of the borrower, and hopefully having a smooth transaction take place where the borrower owner is taking care of the property through the short sale transaction, and then finally the new buyer comes in and everything goes smoothly. So this is why now you're seeing a big push by the government and the banks to get short sales going successfully rather than unsuccessfully. A lot of attention, a lot of energy has been spent on this, and money as well. Let's talk about some of the statistics here in San Joaquin County. Currently, and this is information from realtytrack.com, I believe that this report goes through the month of May. Currently, there are 8,501 notices of default. That's the first stage of a foreclosure. That means basically that the homeowner has already missed 3 payments, and they've been basically, the lender has begun the process of a foreclosure. So this is where we're at countywide. In the city of Stockton, we have currently 3,413 homes that are in various stages of the pre-foreclosure process. And interesting enough, right now the average foreclosure sales price in Stockton is $126,850. Now this is from realtytrack.com. In Stockton alone, the breakdown of foreclosures and short sales, here's where we're at. Pre-foreclosures, would be short sales, 47% in Stockton. 35% of homes in Stockton have gone to auction, and 18% have gone back to the bank. Now, this is an interesting trend because, again, this kind of goes back to what I was saying about banks and investors making an effort to work with borrowers rather than foreclose. So about 2 or 3 years ago, these numbers were the opposite. We had a huge amount of foreclosures and less short sales. And people didn't want to do short sales for various reasons. One, they were very difficult. There was no assistance or response from the bank. But now that's all changed at this present time. So as you can see, there's a big emphasis in the market on trying to help a borrower avoid a foreclosure. And again, the most important thing is having the right realtor that's knowledgeable, that understands how to work and negotiate with the banks and represent your best interests. And that is what I'm here for. I partner up with my clients and help them make sure that I take the stress and worry away from the process. And what I mean by that is I'll sit down, consult with you. We'll go over your situation. There's no cookie cutter approach to this. Everybody's financial situation is different. So it's very important that we have an opportunity to meet early on, and that way we can get all the information together, figure out the hardship, figure out the financials, get it submitted to the bank, and try to see what type of assistance the bank can offer you. Now, what do I charge for this? Nothing. Just so that you understand, as a homeowner in the state of California, it's against the law and it's prohibited to charge advance fees for loan modifications or any type of assistance. Basically, the only way that you could charge a fee is you'd have to be registered with the Department of Real Estate, number one. And number two, you could not charge until these services were performed to your satisfaction and that you're in agreement with whatever it is that your lender's offering. So again, my goal is to try to help homeowners to get through this process with the least amount of stress and difficulty possible. I take the worries away because when I manage a file from start to finish, I'm able to give you updates, let you know what's going on with your lender, correspond with your lender, gather the information, and stay on top of making sure that the process goes well. So that way you can concentrate on your job, on your family, and on other things that are more important in life. So this is why it's important, again, to start early and to work with somebody that will help you every step of the way. My name is AlEspinor, and once again, I'm with Century 21 M&M and Associates. I'm a Graduate Realtor Institute realtor and Certified Distressed Property Expert, CDPE. I look forward to working with you. My direct contact number is 209 209-351-3180. Repeat, 209-351-3180. If you need more information, you can always visit my website at www.alhelpshomeowners.com. Thank you for your time.